Most paranoid of the Allies, they moved to secure Central America. They justify liberation, but it's going to be a subjugation. They move towards an unexpected ally as Germany declares the formation of the Fourth Reich. The Soviets will march into Eastern Europe, while the Rome Pact moves in to demolish the Balkans. As the Allies move to now gain members in Europe to stop, but the Fourth Reich must march into Austria. As the American military reaches 900,000 troops and 3.1 million reservists, the last hold on liberalism is the Allies, despite subjugating Europe. And well, the Allies have 2 million troops, 4 million reservists in Europe, 1 million troops in Africa with 2 million reservists. The Soviets and Japanese have 30 million people that could be trained. They're trained, 15 million reservists and 5 million troops. And can raise upwards of 20 to 50 million troops. The Americas are rising technologically, economically, and military-wise. Fair is power. Pact all the limits. Well, without further ado, please subscribe, grab a bag of popcorn, and let's see the invasion of Central America. And well, it's a big invasion. British occupied Belize, British areas are purple. So let's see how this goes as they rapidly march into Guatemala. And then they continue south to take out Central America. Meanwhile, they manage to take over Cuba by landing in the middle, taking most of the important areas. Cuba is then forced into capitulation, which thus leads to Hispaniola falling pretty fast from troops that were stationed in Puerto Rico. And then, thus, they move in. Nicaragua's in trouble because they're losing land rapidly. As Panama gets taken over. And a march north. And somehow this lake is being considered land. Oops. That's not correct. And meanwhile, in Germany, a coup has happened right now. And let's go over. With a coup in anger from the defeat of the Third Reich, declaring the Fourth Reich. They then annex Austria. What does the Allies do? Nothing. They don't believe this nation will get much stronger than this. But Austrian annexation of Fourth Reich, they should be getting concerned. And let's see this peace treaty. As puppeted Central America and annexed Panama, securing trade. They just didn't risk Allies' war avoiding Belize. But in the Allies and Germans in the Irish. But they see Allies in the Germans and the Irish. Thus, the Washington Pact is formed, and Thailand and Liberia join in fear of the Allies. South American is hesitant to join. Watch out for America. I must say, pathetic. Bulgaria raises 500,000 troops. And to expand into Yugoslav Macedonia. This sparks a big war, and the Germans act like a vulture. Wrong layer. But now that we have the right layer, we can easily invade. And the invasion forces do very well, with them pushing Yugoslavia out of Macedonia. And at this point, with Bulgaria, with seeing Bulgarian aggression, the Romanians, Greek, Czechoslovaks, Albanians all declare war on their side. The Allies say they refuse to support Czechoslovakia here. Well, they better be ready to learn a lesson. Well, Bulgaria loses land, including Macedonia. They start falling back in. And in the north and south, they lose a bit of land. And Greece secures a border with Turkey as Greece moves in to seize these lands. And Romania moves in, going down the coast. But at this point, Hungary and Italy join in, and Turkey, but Turkey stalls out. And yes, there's way more land they occupy in Africa, but we don't need to see that for this war. And while Hungary and Italy starts advancing, which slows the Balkans' offensive in Bulgaria, because they have to move troops. With Hungary moving south, Italy advances. And while Greece is in a bit of trouble, but first, Yugoslavia struggles. With Italy also landing in Albania and moving north into Montenegro, with them managing to split Yugoslavia off in two with the help of the Hungarians, and Hungary advances north. And while the northern part near Croatia and Bosnia starts collapsing, and Bulgaria manages to break through into the Yugoslav front. As they hold this front, the Turks manage to push the Greeks out. Thus, with this, the Greek collapse begins with Bulgaria and Turkey marching into Greek Thrace and Greek Macedonia, eventually linking up with Italian troops and pushing more into Serbia of Yugoslavia, with Belgrade collapsing. And while the Greek collapse. And while at this point, after Greece collapsed, Bulgaria fully pushes the Romanians back. And while the fall of Germany decides to join, not actually join though. The German Fourth Reich joins Steel Land from Czechia. Nobody stops anyone. Them marching in and retaking German land. And they move in from Austria, as they manage to quickly take Prague and push them back to Slovakia. At this point, after Germany annexes that, Ruthenia finally falls, which leads to the room for Slovakia's fall to Hungary, with Bulgaria moving into Dobruja and up north towards Moldova, with Romania being on the verge of collapse to these nations of Turkey, Italy, and Hungary. A small area of this land, basically, Soviets march into, and then this falls. So let's see how this peace treaty goes. While Italy annexes Dalmatia, Slovenia, Montenegro, and Albania, along with Greece except Thrace and Greek Macedonia, meanwhile Bulgaria annexes parts of Greek Thrace, and Turkey annexes part. They also annex all of Dobruja, all of Macedonia, and parts of Serbia. Meanwhile, Hungary gains Slovakia, Ruthenia, all of Transylvania, Vojvodina, and what's left of Croatia that Italy didn't take. With Albania, with a Serbian and Romanian puppet created, Germany got Czechia, and the Soviets gained Moldova, because Czechoslovakia joined with their own will, the Allies did not want a major war, refused to help. What a pathetic bloc. And well, yeah, a lot has happened. And the Soviets now eye up the Baltics, Finland needing to secure Eastern Europe for future conflicts. Also, on the alliance map, I'll fix the borders in the future. Not right now. Also, Romania and Serbian puppets. Hungary definitely overexpanded themselves, and so did Bulgaria. You might be wondering, where does the Soviet? And while Russia goes to the Baltic War, they're hoping to eventually get parts of Poland, regardless of how they shall achieve it. With them going to war with the Baltics, and then after that war they go to war with Finland, just make it easier, we'll have the borders. Let's block all. And in the Baltics, they do a quick offensive. Not just overwhelming them, they make a strategic offensive. What a shock. With them marching forwards all the way, with them managing to encircle Riga and Tallinn rapidly, moving down to take over Lithuania. Lithuania collapses, the Baltics collapse, and everything. Now in Finland, ignore that didn't happen. And while they move in from in the south, quickly seizing these lands and moving to the capital. In the center, they move to cut it off, and up here they move. And like our timeline, they keep needing to send more and more and more and more and more troops, but Finland gets overwhelmed because Russia is superior to what they were in our timeline, with the Soviets using millions upon millions of troops. And while they make a big gain, this is a gigantic gain. Finland and the Baltics gains the Soviets a lot of land and a lot of power. And it's shown the world off how strong their military was. As Russia secures Eastern Europe, Denmark and Norway, along with Portugal, move to try to join the Allies. Along with, I'll show you the nations that join. Portugal, yeah. They gain Portugal. They gain Portugal. That's part of Spain, sorry. And while they also gain the Benelux nations, Denmark, and due to this, these nations, they gain a lot of lands. Just to keep this part accurate, they have these lands. And while, because of this is a big expansion across the globe. And while, let's see, they gain here. Look how much of Africa they control. Now, this is crazy. You might say, it can't get any crazier than that. Dupe. Now look at what they control. They control the global resources. And due to that, they also gain these lands and these 3 islands, but like they're way too small to even care about. And while Soviets, we can mark what they gain, just to make it easier for the future. And while, as we have seen many expansions and betrayals, well, the Americans now move to invade Colombia. Oh, that's a crazy turn of events. As they move to invade Colombia to establish another part. And you might say, how long does this Colombian invasion take? I mean, not too long. With them then invading it. And well, no, nope. And well, it becomes a massive success. With them going in from Panama, moving in to secure major cities like Bogota. Well, yeah. And them establishing here as a hold. And then they move along this coast. Thus, they lead to Colombia's capitulation. And with Colombia capitulating, they end up a part of the Washington Pact as American Colombia. Yeah. Well, the Allies lost a member because they cowered. The fearful United States grew and made allies to form the Washington Pact. And the Rome Pact secured. Should watch out now. The Soviets shouldn't yet. Yes, they are a monster. Let's see. Will America attack the Allies soon or not? They are in a good position to do so. The Japanese are waiting to expand into Southeast Asia, but can't. Well, stay in tune for next video next Thursday, so subscribe and press the notification bell as to not miss it. Also, the alternate Future of the World series will be delayed to Sunday, July 14th, so please wait. Also, please comment your thoughts and theories on the series. Wild Mapper out, but not always subscribe.